Yes! Get in! Oh, thank God. You lot know how much we needed to win this game. You guys know how important getting 3 points today was. Not just in terms of our form table, not just in terms of getting back into the top 4, but just in terms of keeping belief in this team, belief in this manager, in terms of not turning everything around this club into a complete toxic cesspit. And also just not letting Graham Potter get a victory over us. That would have been the first Chelsea ex-manager to get a victory against us at the Bridge ever. Ever. So thankfully, that record stays intact. Very, very frustrating, I will say. Like, that whole first half was just like, it was driving me insane. But feels like we went on a roller coaster and just like ended where we should have been with 3 points. Like, ultimately, I think the correct result. I won't say West Ham were garbage. I bun West Ham every day and ending in a Y. They can hold that. Blow your bubble somewhere else. But they came with a good game plan. I'll give them credit. Like, they were very good defensively. In midfield, they packed out the midfield. And they managed to keep Palmer stuck with about 3 men on him whenever we were trying to release the ball to him. And the game plan was working from them. They were frustrating us. They weren't, they were conceding a minimal amount of chances. And when we were getting those chances, we also were being very, very poor with them. I don't even remember us putting a shot really on target in that first half. Maybe there would have been one opportunity, but for the most part, it was wide. Sancho shot wide, Enzo wide, Noni wide, Palmer wide. Jackson was completely anonymous. Completely anonymous. And the injury obviously didn't help, but even before then he was barely getting into the game. Like, giving the ball away cheaply left, right and centre. Like, he should have been off around 25-30 minutes. But eventually we did get him off, and like, I'll get to that point in a little sec. But in terms of the first half, very, very, very frustrating from us. And West Ham did a good job at neutralising us, not just in the midfield, but when it came to like trying to build up play in central areas. It's like they knew exactly where our next pass was going to be, and they were always first to it. Always. And it didn't help that we were being shaky at the back as well. Levi Colwill, before I even get into the goal, he was such a liability. Such a liability. Because it's not just the shaky passing. It's not just the poor positions that he was keeping on. It was also the fact that this guy was just trying to do so much off the ball in terms of like beefing other players. The man's got all the fight, all the anger when the ball's out of play. But when the ball's in play, he's just getting dominated and bodied left, right and centre. And then it's all capped off by that brain-dead pass that led to Jared Bowen's goal. It is literally Disasi against Ipswich all over again. And I don't get it, because you've seen that mistake lead to a goal. You are literally on the pitch when it happens and you do the exact same thing. Crap pass with your weak foot. You aim back for the goalkeeper with nowhere near enough power to even get near him, and you leave the entire team left isolated. What was the idea? But like, here we are. I'm at a point where you might as well just drop Colwill. Just drop Colwill. Because when we had Tosin and Chalobah, we had a very good defensive performance against Wolves. Very good. And Wolves and West Ham, they're both two teams that are around lower half mid-table. They're both not doing anything for themselves. Stick with Tosin and Chalobah for me, because Colwill is just moving too stupid for my liking. Tosin's actually been pretty good for us over the last couple games. I'll call it what it is. There was a key block in the second half to keep the game at 2-1. There was some really good passing to try and like break the lines and to try and find players in a little bit of space. Stick with Tosin and Chalobah for me. Even Chalobah, when he came on, some really good tackles and interceptions from him. Came on and did exactly what we needed from him. I don't need Colwill starting like that. He can't be untouchable either. We've learnt with Sanchez, drop him. Same thing with Colwill for me. Same thing for Colwill. But speaking of goalkeepers, Philip Jorgensen. You have a fan in me, mate. That was the bare minimum, and it's still more than what I've got over the last couple months. Start him and keep starting him. I said for the last couple weeks, give him a run of 5-6 games and let him keep going. I don't care if he has a bad match. Robert Sanchez can have a bad month. He can have a bad 3 months and he still gets to play every single week. Let Jorgensen play his way. Let him get more game time because that was a good performance. There was some great passes, some nice backspin on a few of the passes as well. Allows the ball to stop a little bit. Some decent stops. I only say decent because I don't think he was really tested like that other than the goal. West Ham weren't really great in our third either. But he did what I needed of him. And he didn't put my team under pressure, which is more than I can say for Robert Sanchez, the worst starting goalkeeper in the league. So start Jorgensen. Another one, Guiu. How long have I been saying just give this kid some minutes and let's just see what he's got in the Premier League? He came in and instantly our attack got better. Why? Because he's got the link-up play that even Jackson started to drop off with. And in the box, I'll be real, he knows what he's doing in the box, which is more than what I've seen from Nicholas Jackson as well. Like, this is why you don't let Jackson just rot for an entire month, because then he starts spiraling. And then even the bare minimum fundamentals you usually get from him, you don't even get that afterwards. So, yeah, Guiu, like, I hope that injury isn't serious. Apparently it isn't, so thank God. Start him in the cup. But what he brought is something that we've needed for a while. Number one, a striker option off the bench. Number two, someone who is going to be an absolute demon off the ball to deal with, especially when it gets late in the game when players are leggy. And that's what Guiu brings. The movement in the box for the equalising goal is literally caused because Guiu's already taking 2 defenders with him with his movement and with his threat in the box. Give me more minutes for him. I'm not even demanding he starts league games like that. If you want to do it, I'm not even that fussed with Jackson's form. But I just want to see him be an available option off the bench and an available option early. Can we do that a little bit more? Because now here's where I'm going to prop Maresca. You finally made early subs. Finally. Like, I've been asking for this for ages. And it was effective. Even Nkunku at left wing, as confused as I was when we did that, it weren't a problem. Made all the right changes. Chalobah comes on at the right time. You take Cole Palmer off. You shore the game up. Neto comes on like, yeah, I thought it should have been Noni for Sancho. But I mean, neither winger was really doing anything. It was a little bit of a mid-off. So whatever. I don't care. The subs were correct. Guiu for Jackson. I thought he should have come on in 30 minutes, but you bring him on like start the second half. You don't take him off at half time because people are going to look at it as Jackson's been hooked because he's been crap. You give him a couple minutes on in the second half and then you take him off. It looks a little bit better on Jackson. I understand. Good management. Maresca was really good today. Really good today. And like we needed that sort of management from him and he showed that. Levi Colwill as well. Again, for all the criticism that I have, I like that he owned his mistake. Because he came out and said, like, this was my fault. It was my error leading up to the goal. I'm glad that we have players like Cole Palmer that can, like, save us and get us out of trouble. But it's on me. As much as I'm annoyed at his performance, and as much as I think Tosin and Chalobah should be our starting back two based off this, Fez, you owned up to your mistake. You took the blame for it. You took the accountability. Fair play. Now, who else do I need? So Enzo and Caicedo. They finally get some rest and look at them absolutely bopping everyone off the park. Caicedo, man of the match. You could literally cut that award in half and give the other half to Enzo. Enzo was sensational, especially off the ball. Usually that's his weakness. We was winning every single damn duel. You know what? Maybe the woman wasn't the problem. Maybe the woman wasn't the problem. He just needed a little hoe phase. Now he's back to being settled, being happy. He's still cooking. Shout out to Enzo Fernandez, man. Shout out to Enzo. Sancho and Noni were not great. Not great. I won't front. They weren't great. Neto came on, changed the game. Did the little... because people have been cussing him out and everything. And like, whatever, fair play. Keep the performances up. No issues. No issues. And just like that, we're back in the top four. It's been a chaotic month. It's been so messy. We've still failed in the transfer window. Don't get it twisted. I thought it was so ironic that we get to deadline day and both our strikers pull up with injuries when we've been asking for a striker for the last year. But here we are. at least we're back in the top 4 and we can relax. And it also means, like I can say again, bun Maurizio Pochettino. Big up everybody though. Hit the likes, subscribe. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. It's good to be back after a win. It's so good. Take care everybody. Like, subscribe. Up the Chels.